As the universe watched with bated breath, a lone figure stood defiant against the canvas of infinity. Commander Aric Valtorin, his name not whispered but roared across galaxies, was the silhouette that danced on the edge of oblivion and dared it to come closer. Aric Valtorin, commander of the human fleet, gazed upon the holographic star map, where a swarm of red dots converged upon the last bastion of the United Systems. The red dots represented the Krylox Armada, a force so vast and merciless, stars themselves seemed to dim in their approach. Valtorin's reputation was built on a foundation of impossible victories, each more astounding than the last. His crew looked to him, their eyes a mosaic of faith and fear. They were outnumbered 100-1, cornered in nebula that was both a shroud and a grave. The Krylox believed victory was inevitable. They had not yet met Aric Valtorin. "Commander, the Krylox will breach the nebula perimeter in T-15 minutes," reported Lieutenant Elira, her voice a steady hum in the chaos. Valtorin nodded, his mind racing through tactics, probabilities, and maneuvers. "Lieutenant, initiate Protocol Aegis. It's time we taught the Krylox the meaning of human tenacity." As the crew sprang into action, the fleet began to morph into something new, something the Krylox could not have predicted. Each ship moved with precision, weaving a complex web within the nebula's embrace. The Krylox, confident in their numbers, surged forward, their weapons charging with the energy of suns. They expected the humans to cower, to scatter like cosmic dust before the gale. Instead, they found a fleet that seemed to be everywhere at once, a mirage of light and shadow. Valtorin's voice echoed through the comms, "Hold positions. Wait for my mark." His eyes never left the swarm before him, reading the patterns of their advance like a gambler reading tells. The Krylox fired, beams of destruction tearing through the nebula, but hitting nothing. The human ships were no longer there, having moved in a ballet of evasive maneuvers that defied the algorithms of the Krylox targeting systems. Now Valtorin's command was the falling hammer, the call to unleash hell. The United Systems fleet erupted in a calculated fury, their weapons tuned to the frequency of the nebula, turning their hiding place into an amplifier of force. The Krylox, bewildered, found their shields crumbling under the onslaught. The battle raged, ebbing and flowing like the lifeblood of the cosmos itself. Valtorin's ship, the Aurora Lance, led the charge, cutting through the enemy with the precision of a surgeon's blade. Every move he made was echoed by his fleet, a symphony of destruction conducted by Valtorin's unwavering hand. As the tide turned, the Krylox command ships found themselves isolated, outmaneuvered by the human fleet's unexpected tactics. Valtorin, his face a mask of focused calm, delivered the final blow, a masterstroke that would be studied by tacticians for centuries to come. When the dust settled, the Krylox fleet was decimated, the survivors limping back to the dark corners of the universe from whence they came. The crew of the Aurora Lance stood in silence, the enormity of their victory washing over them in waves. Commander Aric Valtorin, the man who stared into the abyss and made it blink, had secured his place in the annals of history. His name would be etched alongside the greatest heroes of humanity, not as a conqueror, but as a guardian of the light against the encroaching dark. As the fleet made its way back through the nebula, a young ensign approached Valtorin, awe rewritten across her face. "Sir, how did you know it would work?" Valtorin turned to her, a rare smile gracing his lips. "Because, ensign, in the heart of every human beats the will to overcome, to fight against the dying of the light. And as long as we hold on to that, the odds will never truly be against us." The Aurora Lance emerged from the nebula, its hull scarred but victorious, a testament to the unyielding spirit of its commander and crew. The story of their triumph would echo through the stars, a beacon of hope for all who faced the darkness. And so, the legend of Commander Aric Valtorin grew, a legend born from a victory that was never supposed to be possible, a reminder to the universe that humanity. In the inky canvas of space, where the stars bore witness to endless battles, Commander Aric Valtorin's name was a harbinger of hope, a promise of defiance against any odds. Today, that promise would be tested as never before. The command deck of the United Systems flagship, the Indomitable, was alive with a cacophony of alerts and the frenetic energy of its crew. They were the last line of defense against the Krylox Armada, a ruthless alien coalition that had never known defeat, their hunger for conquest as insatiable as a black hole. Commander Aric Valtorin, renowned for his cunning and fearless leadership, stood resolute before the star map, the weight of impending doom resting firmly on his shoulders. His fleet was outnumbered, outgunned, and on the brink of annihilation. With each passing second, the relentless tide of red dots representing the Krylox fleet drew closer. "Commander, all ships report ready to engage," said Lieutenant Elira, her voice betraying none of the dread that had taken root in the hearts of every soul aboard. Valtorin's gaze never wavered from the hologram as he issued his commands with surgical precision. "Initiate Protocol Aegis. It's time the Krylox learned that numbers alone cannot quell the human spirit." The fleet began to shift, morphing into something more than a mere collection of ships, a gestalt entity ready to face the impossible. Each vessel took its place in an intricate dance within the nebula's protective veil, their movements cloaked by the swirling gases. The Krylox advanced, confident and unrelenting, their weapons charging with a fury that had subdued 1,000 worlds. They expected the humans to break, to scatter before their might like so many before. What they encountered instead would become legend. Valtorin's voice surged through the fleet-wide comms, a steady drumbeat against the growing storm. "Steady, hold, now strike as one." The United Systems fleet erupted from the nebula, a phoenix rising from the ashes of expectation. Their ships, no longer hiding, unleashed a focused barrage, their weapons' frequencies tuned to the nebula's natural resonances. The Krylox, caught off guard, watched in horror as their advance crumbled to disarray. Commander Valtorin's indomitable spearheaded the assault, its cannons blazing with righteous fury. The fleet moved as if a singular entity, a testament to Valtorin's indomitable will, a force that bent but never broke. As the battle raged and the cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath, the Krylox's command vessels found themselves ensnared in Valtorin's web. With a final, decisive command, he sealed their fate, ensuring this battle would be sung of for generations. When the last Krylox ship flickered and died, a profound silence enveloped the fleet. They had done it against all probability. Humanity had prevailed. Commander Aric Valtorin had cemented his legacy as one of the greatest tacticians and leaders humanity had ever seen. Amid the celebration, a young ensign approached the commander, her eyes wide with a mixture of reverence and curiosity. "Sir, how did you know we would win?" Commander Valtorin turned to her, a ghost of a smile on his lips, his eyes reflecting the starfield beyond. "Ensign, I didn't. But in the heart of every human is the capacity for the extraordinary. When we stand together, united against the void, there's nothing we cannot achieve." The Indomitable and her sister ships set course back to the heart of human space, their hulls scarred but spirits unbroken. Commander Aric Valtorin's name would be etched into the fabric of history, synonymous with the unbreakable resolve of humanity. And across the stars, the tale of their victory would ripple through time, a beacon of hope for all who would stand against the dark, a hymn of the human will, unyielding and forever bright.